Hi, this is Craig from irrigationrepair.com, and today we're going to repair a weeping valve. A weeping valve is one that leaks a lot but is not failed in the complete open position to where the sprinklers are spraying. So to do this, first we got to turn off the water. I turned it off here at the backflow. You may have to turn it off at the meter if you don't know where your backflow is. Now, when I take this valve apart, it's quite possible that there'll be a lot of water coming out, so I've dug a deeper hole so that when I take it apart, if the water starts flowing out quickly, we need to be able to scoop that water out of there with either a hand pump or a plastic cup or something like that, because we don't want to get any rocks and dirt into the piping. Now, I'm using my drill to take it apart, and what we're going to do is we're going to replace everything except the body. The body is just the bottom part that holds all these other parts together, and we're going to replace that white part I took out too. That's called the valve seat that the diaphragm sits against. Now, in order to repair a valve in this way, you have to have the exact same model and brand of the valve that's in the ground, so it all fits together. So this is a Hunter SRV valve, and I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to replace the bonnet, the diaphragm, the solenoid, the spring. All of that is contained there in my hand, and I'm going to place it on there gently at first and move it around so I can determine if I can turn these screws in a little bit with my hand, which will do two things. It tells me that it's in the right place, and it also tells me that it's lined up correctly. So I'm not going to screw it in all the way with my drill because it is a plastic valve and we could easily crack it if we crank that drill all the way down. So now I'm going to take a screwdriver and I'm going to tighten the valve down the same way that you would the lug nuts on a car tire. We're going to go opposite from each other so that it seats correctly and we won't have any problems down the line. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to connect the wires back up. Even though the solenoid on the old valve was good, I'm going to replace it anyways, because if I'm going through this much trouble, let's just go ahead and replace the solenoid. So as I put these wires together, I'm going to use a direct burial splice, which is a silicone-filled wire nut. Don't use just a regular wire nut or, even worse, electrical tape, because that will not keep moisture away from the wires, and which could cause them to corrode. So then we're going to fill in the hole, and I'm going to set the valve box in such a way that I can pull these wires out of the valve box in case I ever need to check this solenoid. Let's say the valve's not working, and I don't know if it's a solenoid or a broken wire. I don't know what it is. I need to be able to do that without digging up the entire valve, because it'll drive you crazy if you have to dig up a valve just to check the wires. So as you can see, the wires are easily accessible without having to dig up the valve. And after I fill in the rest of the dirt and put in the grass back in there, I'm going to turn the water back on. And when I do that, I'm going to do it very slowly because the pipes are full of air because I drained all the water out of them. And if we turned it on right away, we would have a great rush of water that could possibly compress the air, which could cause us problems down the line. So I'm going to take this and turn it on about 1/3 of the way. The valves are very close to the backflow, so I can hear when the water stops moving through here. And then I can take it and turn it all the way on, and we're done. Boy, how easy was that? If you'd like to learn more about how to make a lot of money fixing sprinklers or save a lot of money repairing your own sprinklers, please visit my website, irrigationrepair.com. And coming very soon is irrigationtv.com, which will cover everything about irrigation for the homeowner. Hey, thanks for watching.